Good morning, guys. Happy Wednesday morning. So, a lot of times I make the comment of, learn from something that's going on somewhere else. There's wildfires in California, or there was flooding in the Midwest, or whatever. What would you do if that happened in your area? Well, we're in one now that everybody needs to learn from and prep for and just figure out, okay? Y'all know I have talked about the grand solar minimum, the actual scientific reason for all this goofy climate crap uh, that we went into last year. Or, I'm sorry, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago now. It's supposed to last through 2053, guys. So for a lot of us, it's the rest of our lives we're dealing with this. But what the grand solar minimum is it's a decreased activity of the sun, okay? Sunspots. And so we have in this one about a 70% reduction in solar magnetic activity. What that leads to is periods of extremes in regards to the weather. The last grand solar minimum, the Maunder minimum, which was in the 1600s, led to the Little Ice Age. Now, nobody's saying that that's what's going to happen this year, or this time. I mean, this year, this 25 years or whatever, 30. Uh, but what we're having is massive extreme events. All the rain that happened in the Midwest, floods everywhere. All the drought that is happening in the western half of the United States, now in the southeast, everywhere here that we're feeling. I'm going to get to that in a minute. The extreme heat. I mean, it's over 100 degrees on at least half of the country, heat index wise. Okay, some temperature wise, but heat index wise, we're over 100. Today, it's supposed to be so damn hot today, I'm not even bothering doing anything outside. Forget it. Okay, I mean, heat'll kill you. Let's look at this. We're a month into hurricane season. Last year we had 21 hurricanes. It was a lot. We used every name for that was, because we name hurricanes. We used every name for the hurricane season last year. This year we're a month into hurricane season. We haven't even had one yet. Okay. NOAA predicts an above average hurricane season. Okay. Now, mind you, hurricane season goes through November. We're already done with June. Okay. I mean, there's nothing on the radar for them to expect anything in the next at least 5 days. Okay. So that gets us to the 27th of June. It's basically the end of the month. So nothing in June whatsoever. If they expect an above average hurricane season, that means we're going to condense all this into an even shorter period of time. So that means we could have hurricane after hurricane after hurricane. Could. Not saying it's going to happen. I'm not a weatherman. Go watch Ryan Hall, y'all. But this is the thing. How are you going to prep for these extremes? And especially the ones that are going to be critical, i.e., the drought. Okay? Mrs. P and I went out yesterday and watered all the gardens, everything like that. 7 hours worth of watering plus doing the trees. You guys know she was doing that last night while we were on the live stream. Looked at my cucumber plants yesterday, and the leaves had totally flopped and wilted. Okay, we just gave them heavy water 3 days ago. Okay, I water each garden for an hour in the summers here, an hour each garden for every 3 days, and that's usually what it takes. This heat and this drought is so bad that I'm probably going to have to up that to every other day. Now, mind you, the soil that I've built in my gardens is compost and manure, so it's very good at retaining water, and it's drying out. Forget looking at my yard, okay, where it's just regular topsoil. That's dust. Okay, go back to the Dust Bowl of the 30s, in Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, everything like that. That's what it looks like. You drive along in my four-wheeler or whatever doing stuff, and I'm just kicking up a cloud of dust. Go out and mow the lawn. It's going to look like Pigpen walked around all over the place. It's just dust everywhere. Okay, that's how dry it is. We've had one significant rainfall in the last 2 months. That's how dry it is. So what are you going to do over the course of the next 30 years when this happens? What are your plans for water in a drought? I'm building the pond. I'm hoping it's not too little too late, because I'm having a hell of a time trying to fill it, because I'm competing with the sun. As much water as I'm putting in, the sun's taking out, okay, evaporating. And because it's so hot, I'd love to get some rain in here, okay? I still have not got the entire bottom of the pond covered, and it's been 5 weeks that I've been working on filling this thing. I'll give you an idea how much I'm racing against nature. But that's my idea for how I will water my gardens, because my gardens could be my only source of food. Now, I have the advantage that the lake is a block away, all right? But hauling buckets and buckets and buckets of water to water my garden, that would be backbreaking, time-consuming work trying to get that done, okay? Because remember, lakes don't sit on the high end of something. They're at the low end. So you're going downhill and you got to carry heavy buckets of water uphill, right? So what are your plans for something like that? We all talk about enough water to drink or, bathe or wash or whatever it is. But water is going to be crucial for food. If there is no grocery store, okay, you have a need for food. And your vegetable plants need water. Your fruit trees need water. Your animals need water. Where is this water going to come from? This drought that's significantly worse out west, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything, like poor me by any means. But it's a learning experience for everybody to go, what am I going to do when or if or next time, or how can I alleviate this problem so I don't have to deal with it again? Storing IBC totes of water is great. How much water do you need to water your garden every time you water your garden if that's your only source of food? Those are things to think about. You can't buy enough water. You're not going to stock enough bottles of water from Walmart to water a garden, to water your animals, to do whatever. What is your alternative? In anything. Learn from this drought. It's not bad yet, but it's not like the 1930s Dust Bowl was a one-time thing in history, guys. That can certainly happen again. And that time, it caused people in droves to leave the state and go nowhere and go somewhere else. What happens this time if you don't have the ability to do that? Pinball out.